So I'm going to let Monica, Mayuni, and Betty Kakoma tell us a bit about their story, what they do as journalists in Zambia, and what is the health situation with women there? Do you find that women tend to not be heard, and are there some crisis situations that you all have addressed and maybe even exposed as journalists?
Yeah, I think many are the times when women are not heard. I think it's a universal problem when women are trying to, like, to talk about certain challenges, even health challenges that they are facing. They are not taken seriously. And this is one of the things that I think should be addressed adequately. When you talk about health issues, I think she was trying to highlight what she experienced. And in Zambia, it's the similar issue. When you talk about, for instance, issues of fertility, let me
Yes.
go to that issue. In our culture as Africans, most of the time when you are unable to conceive, they would put the blame on a woman, thinking that, she's the one who has a problem. They don't want to blame a man. And these are some of the things that really need to change, because a problem may be with a woman, yes. Sometimes it may be with a woman, sometimes it may be with a man. So it is very important that even as you go to the hospital, for instance, if you're having challenges in conceiving, the doctor should look at both. But usually they suspect, before they even examine you, they suspect it's you, a woman, who's having a problem. They try to examine you, do all sorts of tests on you to ensure that you are perfect before they get to a man. So these are some of the major challenges that women do face, but there are other many challenges that women face. Maybe I can come to that a little later.
Yes.
Yeah, depending on the question that you ask.
Yes. Betty, what has been your experience and your observation there in Zambia?
I think basically, just adding on what Monica's already noted, talk about ignorance, the issue of looking at Africa and how many women obviously are illiterate about issues to do with their bodies. It's all in the hands of a doctor who understands the concept of how your body works, and obviously what you're going through every time you have complications in your body. An example I just want to probably give out is a girl child when they reach menstruation. The aspect of really having that free conversation with their family, could be their mother or anybody that they're close to, really becomes a very big challenge, because it's mostly considered as a taboo for you to be able to mention such things to your mother or to mention such things to someone who's very close to you. Hence, in the end, they become more vulnerable to men who would actually come to show some sort of like love to them. And in the end, that becomes now the challenge they begin to face, where even if a woman is being abused, they will still stick to that marriage. Whatever blames they're given, it becomes like part of them. Mental issues also begin to actually come in the picture, because it's the aspect of, we're not really talking so deeply about these issues. We're just really touching the surface of the issues. So if we can get to the root cause of really, empowering women to a point where they begin to understand who they are. If I have a problem and I know for sure to say, there's this problem, probably I'm not conceiving, or maybe my partner wants me to have a child, or we want to have a child and we've taken a bit of time. It could be, it's not even maybe a problem that I have, but it's the process that we're in. It should be both of us that should be cancelled. Because even in a marriage setup, when you look at how the foundations of marriage are, you find that a woman is the one that is more concentrated on than a man. So in a home, such problems come about because a woman is picked as the source of every problem solution. Yeah.
The man is picked as the source of what? I'm sorry.
He said the woman is the one that's picked
woman.
as the source of the problem. The woman is always blamed. Oh, what are you doing wrong?
And
that's
this is
And so I would
the
assert,
African
though,
perspective, I
Yes.
think in our culture.
with male doctors.
We are trying our level best to get exposed to a lot of things. Some of us, yes, are enlightened on a number of issues, but we have the majority of the people that are not enlightened. They don't even know their rights. And just in addition to what she said, we are also talking about a girl child, for instance. Before you become of age, before you're 16, before you're 15, you have these sexual feelings. many girls in our society are not free to discuss such things with their parents about their feelings, about what they intend to do. For instance, if she's at school, she sees her friends with a boyfriend, and she's wondering, should I also go in a relationship or not? She doesn't have anybody to ask. And unfortunately, some parents are still ancient in that they don't want to open up with their children. So their children end up making, silly mistakes, like, just because they've seen a friend having a boyfriend, they would also want to do it without even asking on what precautions they must undertake in that particular relationship. When maybe they get pregnant because of unprotected sex, maybe when maybe they get infected with HIV or any other STI, that's when the parents come in to ask how did
how
you
did this
become
happen?
pregnant, how did this happen. It is too late. We are better off preventing the problems than being reactive. I think these are some of the things that we really need to address. I know we have a lot of non-governmental organizations, the civil society, trying to sensitize the people, but still, it is still there. I don't know how best this can be uprooted from our culture. There are just a few of us, maybe me, because I'm a journalist and I'm exposed. I'm able to talk to my children about anything, but you go to most of these homes, even our close relatives, you're even afraid to talk to their children, because the moment you talk to them, they'll be like, oh, what are you doing? You want to spoil my child and all that. We really have a lot of work as journalists. We have a lot of work as Africans to educate each other so that we are on the same wavelength. As it is, we are not at par in as far as information flow is concerned.
Now, what is the news agency that you work with?
I'm working for Zambia Daily Mail. That is one of the national newspapers in Zambia.
And what is the news organization?
I work for Radio Christian Voice.
Radio Christian Voice. So, I mean, it's an opportunity to use your platform to be able to educate. But now, what is the literacy situation with women? I know in a lot of countries, girl children are discouraged from even going to school and higher education, and that makes them vulnerable to abuse. What have you experienced or observed in terms of education?
I think for me, when it comes to policies, we are there. We've really come up with all these ideas to say we want to see a change in a certain area. We've even projected the timeframes that we have. Like Zambia has signed a lot of treaties, which we are sure when we look at, we are even amazed. We are part of this Peace Summit to talk about some of the the milestones that we've achieved as a country. But when we come to certain areas of these issues, practically, we're still very far. It's like it's one thing to actually talk about something and project when you want to achieve it, and another thing to begin to work on it speedily to ensure that you actually deal with it aimlessly. So what we're trying to actually do as the media now is to begin to bring these political leaders, bring in out of leaders, really to begin to give us the answers to the questions, and even just the community itself. I think it's not the time for us to begin to do the blame game. It's high time for us to begin to find solutions together. So even the